On this most sacred of nights, we gather in a very unexpected way. We gather again to recall the story of Jesus' birth, how the Christ child enters the world, how God chooses an unlikely source, the lowliest of low through Mary, that God's choice of Mary from the beginning means that Jesus enters this world as a disruptor, to disrupt the status quo, to challenge the ways that we have created barriers in our lives and othered and oppressed others. This lowly young woman who is unwed, God chooses to enter the world, to enter into a world that is dark and broken and fragmented, a world where her showing up with child, unwed, could mean the sacrifice of her life. Such a risk. And it is into this darkness, this world that is built on systems of oppression and holding people down, that Jesus enters. And his birth, the fact that he is born, that God chooses that he be born in this way, is a disruption to the powers that be right from the beginning. So on this night, we gather to remember. Of course, we want the nostalgia of Christmas, right? We remember Christmas past. We remember all the good feelings that we have. We love to hear the music and to feel that coziness and nostalgia. But we also must remember now more than ever, we need to remember and to recall that Jesus enters in a time not too unlike the time in which we live, a time where the world is so divided, where people are feeling disparity, great disparity. There are those who are living in great poverty with very few rights and voice, and those few who are at the very top with great power, wealth, loud voices that aren't necessarily caring about anyone other than themselves and their own desire to stay on top. Jesus enters into a world not unlike this world that we are in. We are gathered in an unlikely way tonight, right? This unexpected way. We thought, surely this Christmas we would be gathered back again in our space. We would all be here together. Surely this Christmas would be different than the pandemic Christmas we experienced last year. I know I looked so forward to just being able to be in this beautiful space together this Christmas. Surely we could all be together in this space. But it was not meant to be this Christmas. So we will gather in this unexpected way. We still gather. We are here together online, watching together, participating together, connected in a way we could not have imagined being connected 2 years ago. We must trust on this Christmas Eve, call into the light, into the being, into our way of living our faith. We must remember that God enters in the unexpected ways, in the brokenness, in the darkness, in what might feel so unsettling, and God is present. That's the power of tonight and the story of Christ entering into this world. So don't be disheartened on this end, because we cannot be physically together. Trust and take hope. Feel the joy of the fact that God finds us and connects us, no matter what. There is no barrier on earth that can truly prevent God from being present and can truly prevent us from being community and worshiping together. Let's listen to the music, such joyous, beautiful music, the many gifts that we have and the talents within this congregation. Let the songs recall the nostalgia, but also may it remind you that when Jesus enters this world as the Christ child, as this infant born into this broken world, that he is entering as a vulnerable child. He is entering as a refugee and an immigrant. He is entering a world where he is already despised before he is even known. He will be hunted. He will be chased. He will spend his life's ministry work, reconciling and bringing people together, healing and giving hope where there appears to be no hope. Let's remember, as we feel so good about the nativity scene, and we remember and we think about the shepherds gathering, and Mary and Joseph, and the baby in the manger. Remember that he is born into the poorest of poor circumstances. He is homeless, living his first days on earth in a feeding trough for animals, surrounded by animals, surrounded by stars. Let's remember when the wise men do arrive, that their hope, their presence, their very presence signifies that this thing that is happening is bigger than anyone could imagine and reaches beyond the scope. So when we try to build our human barriers and hold and contain and judge and try to say who can be in, who can be apart, who's doing things right, who's doing things wrong, like we want to build those barriers and contain the gospel, the good news of Jesus' birth, his very presence, the very entrance, the way he enters the world, disrupts everything that we think we have power to control. This is for everybody. This is for everybody. God's love, God's realm, God's vision and hope for us is for everyone. What good news? What could be better news than a cold Christmas Eve night? May you find hope and peace and joy and love. May you hear the story that you've probably heard your entire life, but may you find some new truth in it tonight. May you hear or understand something new in a way you hadn't quite grasped before. May you be changed and transformed in a way that you are able to truly hold that child within you, just as Mary held that child within herself. Christmas is about transformation. If it's not about transformation and resurrection, it can't be about anything. It can only be empty. Let's not let it be empty. Let's truly, truly grasp and hold the beauty, the true beauty, in all of the harshness, with all of the love, with all the hope, with all the joy. All of it. Let's hold it. transformed. Let us worship.